Okay, I wanted to go over how I keep a lot of my animals cool during the summer. It's really hot right now. It's 90 degrees, but the real feel is 100. So as you know, I have goats. Goats keep themselves cool with shade, breezes. They do not like to be wet. Um, so the goats are pretty much good as far as kind of like on their own. Another thing I like to do for my goats is I give them goat electrolytes in their water. Um, this gives them energy. It keeps them hydrated. It just helps battle the really extreme temperature for them. So that's how I take care of the goats. Now, the chickens, they're a little bit different. They also don't really like being wet. Now, they will go out in the rain and stuff just because they're hard-headed and stubborn, and they act like I starve them to death and they're always eating, but ultimately chickens don't like to be wet. My chickens don't like to be wet. I don't know about anybody else's, but as far as I know, chickens don't like being wet. So what I do for them is also provide a structure for shade. They have underneath the coop. They go in the barn, the goat barn during the day, the shed. And we do have trees that are lined on this side of the property. So these trees also help. Plus the little structures that are inside of the barnyard, they do cast some shade, so they kind of sit around in those areas. And then what I do for them is called hydro hen. I don't know how to turn this around on the video, sorry, but it says hydro hen. This is also a electrolyte additive in their water, and it also has probiotics in it for the chickens. So sorry, I'm dancing because the flies are attacking my legs. You just mix this one with water just like the goats. This does the same thing, but it also supports digestion for them. So if they do get dehydrated, it affects their digestive system really quickly, because chickens don't urinate, so they only poop and they lay eggs. So this helps them a tremendous amount during these really, really hot temperatures as well. DD dog, we do have the creek that runs in the back. But the problem with her that I'm seeing is that she is fighting the goats for the shade. She's going to the creek. She's getting wet, her whole underside. And as you can see what she's doing, she's pacing. You probably can't see, but. So when she gets out of the creek and she heads back toward this side of the pasture where everything is, she's searching for shade, and she's having to fight the goats for the shade. So eventually what's happening is she's becoming more dry as she's hunting for a spot, and she's dry again, so she's hot. So then she goes back to the creek. So she's wearing herself out. So I went to Walmart and I got a baby pool. So I'm going to be filling up a baby pool for her right here. Actually, I'm going to put it over here in the shade. You see this tree right here? There's a little bit of shade in the pasture right here. So I'm going to put it here. Now, my hopes is that she will wade in it, lay in it, whatever she wants to do. The goats might step in it, but I know they won't lay in it. It's not very big, but it is big enough for her to lay in sideways. So I did get another one. I got 2 of them. But she's really hard on stuff, so I'm hoping that she won't try to drag it out to the pasture and put a bunch of holes in it. But if she does, at least I have a backup. They're $5, so not bad at all. Pretty cheap, and then I have my own water, so I don't pay for water. I have a well, so that's what we're gonna do. I got a kink in my hose. So we've got Alaska in the doghouse. So what I've been doing is I've been shooting the hose and covering the whole top of this because it cools it off. I mean, it doesn't last very long, but it still does it. Dean and Sam are underneath the bridge laying here, and then Willow is under here. Okay, so the directions here are, for adult goats, you mix 1 scoop of the goat electrolyte powder into 2 quarts of water. So there's 4 quarts in a gallon. So I'm going to use just a regular bucket. I'm going to hang it. I'm going to put it somewhere. And then I'm going to put the electrolytes in there for free choice. But here, these stock tanks, this stock tank is too big. It would take like this whole bag. And then this bucket is a 19-gallon bucket. Again, I don't want to use this much because this stuff usually, it says about an hour. You're supposed to offer the solution 1 hour 3 times a day. And you have to constantly stir this. So I don't want to stir all of these because they're too big. So I can put it in a bucket and it's perfect. I gotta go dump these. Now, since the goats' waters are being filled up, I can show you.
Is Luna allowed to eat to drink the goat stuff?
Yeah, that it won't hurt her. Yep, good question. My daughter asked if Luna is okay with drinking the goat electrolyte. Answer, yes. It's fine. It's not going to hurt her. It's basically almost like the stuff that's in those little drinks called Pedialyte, which is what you give infant babies and newborns. So it's very, very safe for her. Another question too I just thought of is, if the chickens came over and drank it, would it hurt the chickens? Answer, no, it will not hurt the chickens either. Chickens have the same thing, except theirs just has an added probiotic. So, good question, Ashley. These girls are cool. They have cold water. I'm constantly refilling it.
They're just being mean.
They're in the full shade the entire day. She just wants out. Now Sable here, she loves water. She'll play around in the water. Aria, not so much. However, we are still going to give them a pool too, just to see if they'll use it. Don't trip over the... Oh God, you've been almost tripping all day today.
You know what? Like right here?
No, like right here.
That's okay, no problem.
Perfect.
They're festive.
Go get the hose. Start filling that baby up. We got all these pools to fill up. Oh, girls, you're getting a pool. Look at you. Ooh, you're so fancy. You're so fancy. You got a pool. Sable, I expect you to be in it. Aria, not so much. Should get that big old butt in there.
Right. Yeah, get that big old butt in there.
Now for us humans, me and my lovely daughter Ashley, we got us a pool, a little bit bigger, in case she wants to like lay in it.
I'm definitely gonna lay in it.
I like putting my feet in there and stuff. I think I'm too big for it, but she's taller than me, but she's also very skinny compared to me. So everybody's got their own pool. So we'll see how this all goes today. Hopefully nobody puts holes in anything. Yeah, Luna's laying now, so. She's laying up against the pool because it's cooler. That's okay, they can drink the water.
They're supposed to be in it.
That's okay. See, that's so cold, Mom, I like it.